Imagine building a digital system used by millions, only to have the doors slammed shut and locked down in the blink of an eye. That is exactly what happened to Anthropic. Late in the day on June 12th, the United States government pulled the plug, citing national security concerns. The order explicitly banned any foreign national worldwide from accessing specific Anthropic tools. Even Anthropic's own employees, who happened to be foreign nationals, were immediately locked out. With a single regulatory order, millions of users found themselves abruptly disconnected from the frontier of artificial intelligence, all because of an unexplained security threat. This animation shows Anthropic's lineup of AI models. The government didn't target the whole company. Their directive zeroed in strictly on two specific models, Fable 5 and Mythos 5, locking them down while leaving models like Opus, Sonnet, and Haiku fully operational. But here is the catch. Because the internet lacks borders, identifying and blocking every individual foreign national on the planet is nearly impossible. To comply, Anthropic had no choice but to wrap these two models in heavy armor and entirely cut off access for all users, everywhere. Anthropic received this directive at 5:21 p.m. The letter they got lacked any specific technical details explaining the danger. The government provided only verbal evidence that they had discovered a security flaw. A global blackout of a major commercial product was put into motion based on a vague alarm, with almost no concrete proof handed over to the engineers who actually built the system. To understand the government's concern, we have to look at what security experts call a jailbreak. Think of this as finding a specific loophole or a blind spot in the AI safety rules to make it do something it normally wouldn't. In this case, the specific loophole the government found involves software code. Apparently, someone figured out a way to ask Fable 5 to read a specific piece of programming code and fix its flaws. This grid represents the total landscape of cyber capabilities an AI has. This specific flaw is known as a non-universal jailbreak. As that tiny yellow square highlights, the vulnerability is confined to an exceptionally small slice of what the system can do. Anthropic reviewed the exploit and pointed out a very inconvenient fact for the government. Other publicly available competitor models, like OpenAI's GPT 5.5, have this exact same vulnerability and perform the exact same tasks. The threat that triggered a global tech blackout was a widely known minor backdoor. It is the exact kind of basic code-checking tool that standard software defenders use every single day to keep our computer systems safe. The reality of the artificial intelligence industry today is that perfect 100% resistance to jailbreaks is impossible. Every major AI provider knows this. This diagram illustrates a strategy called defense in depth. Because building one unbreakable wall is impossible, engineers build multiple overlapping layers of security. If a tricky prompt pierces the first ring of defense, it gets caught and stopped by a second or third layer. Before launching Fable 5, Anthropic and its partners, including the US and UK governments, spent thousands of hours intentionally trying to break these safeguards. They call this red teaming, and it proved Fable's defenses were incredibly effective. Think of these rotating rings as a continuous security camera. Anthropic intentionally holds on to user data for 30 days. This gives them teams the time they need to spot any narrow attacks that manage to slip through the cracks, allowing them to patch the holes quickly. Despite the alarms raised by regulators, Anthropic noted they have never even received a report of a narrow jailbreak actually leading to a harmful result. Anthropic built Fable 5 fully expecting minor flaws to exist. They engineered a system that monitors and manages those exact leaks, ensuring they can be dealt with long before causing any real damage. Anthropic's frustration comes down to proportionality. From their perspective, the government responded to a completely normal, industry-wide reality with a massive overreaction. Picture playing a vibrant racing game on an arcade cabinet like this one. Shutting down Fable 5 over a narrow code-reading flaw is like pulling the plug on a globally popular multiplayer game, kicking out millions of players, all because one person discovered a minor cheat code. Recalling an entire commercial product over a narrow jailbreak sets a deeply concerning standard for the technology sector. If the government applied this zero-tolerance strictness evenly across the board, it would essentially halt the release of every new AI model from every major tech company. This clash highlights a severe disconnect. Tech developers manage acceptable risk through layered security, while the government is enforcing a zero-tolerance policy that leaves zero room for error. While Anthropic strongly disagrees with the government's reasoning, they are following the law. Fable and Mythos remain offline while they work to restore access for their users. The company believes government oversight is important, but they argue that stepping in to block technology requires a transparent, fair process based on concrete technical facts rather than vague warnings. We are looking at a difficult balancing act captured by these glowing scales of justice. How do we protect society from theoretical risks without arbitrarily shutting down the very tools that millions of people rely on every single day? The sudden shutdown of Fable 5 serves as the opening battle in a much larger struggle over who controls the future of human access to technology.
Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and the bell notification icon.